Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of GodSaw's Turnbuckle, the video wrestling podcast here on YouTube. Again, I am working on a bit, and I don't know exactly when I'm going to start with it, but I am working on a bit to try to get an audio variation over on SoundCloud, maybe iTunes, to go along with it. So we'll see how everything plays off there, but that's what we're currently working on. But this GodSaw's Turnbuckle is going to work, or basically be talking about Smackdown Live from June 27th, 2017. And this is basically the second women's Money in the Bank ladder match for everything to go along with it. So let's go into everything. Right from the beginning of the show, you have Daniel Bryan come out. He starts hyping up the show, everything that's going to be happening on there about a women's title match, the Money in the Bank ladder match afterwards. He gets interrupted by Carmella as he's hyping up everything through the show. She comes out there, cuts a promo on why she should never have lost the Money in the Bank contract and everything to go along with it, and she has massive heat behind her. This is actually, like, the way that they're doing things for Money in the Bank is probably, you know, kind of working for what they want. She has massive heat behind her and everything to go along with it based off of what they did there. She's kind of making her point and kind of coming up with some good points and everything to go along with it. Daniel Bryan retorts to Carmella and everything in that sense. Like, we've never had someone actually go up there, grab the briefcase, and hand it to someone else. So we're setting, almost like they're setting a precedent at this point for down the road, if they even stick to that at that point in time. And then Ellsworth gets on the mic and cuts a promo insulting him, saying that he faked his injuries and everything in that sense, that he was gutless and never wants to get back in the ring. And you had Daniel Bryan just giving him that smirk and that kind of jokingly jovial thing around. It's like, you know what, I should just fire you type moments. But we're not going to do that. And he even goes back and saying, it's like, you know, last week I said that you were going to be banned from ringside. I'm not going to ban you from ringside. I'm going to ban you from the entire arena, which eventually, like, leads to Ellsworth getting chased around the ring area. It's like he teases that I'll leave on my own, and then he starts running. He gets caught, and then he gets away, and then he tries to jump over the barricade, but he jumps too soon and just lands on the barricade, so he hurt himself. Like, he potentially hurt himself to go along with it. Really good stuff. Great opening segment to the show. Oh yeah, I'm going to throw it out there, because usually when I watch Smackdown Live, I watch it on the Hulu version. Because usually I'm streaming Tuesday nights, and I don't get to watch the live variation of it. But I have PlayStation View, and I've set it up to just record on the DVR in there. So now I've decided to start watching it over the PlayStation View, because they do something different on SmackDown that you don't get on the Hulu version. Of that is basically when they cut to commercial breaks. Sometimes during matches, the matches still play, like, in the upper left-hand corner, so you're still seeing action while the commercials are going on. First of all, I like that, because they always have that bit, because it leads to potentially something happening, and you kind of see it, and you don't have to wait for a replay or anything in that sense afterwards. Like, oh, it was right there. So this leads into this match with the Hype Bros and the Usos. I thought it was a decent enough match, but this one was, like, the biggest knock on this one is that most of this match happened during the commercial break, and, like, literally when they come back from the commercial break, the Usos win really quick afterwards. That's the only real down point to go along with this in the match. Like I said, the match itself was fine, but you had the entire hot tag segment and everything happen during the commercial break, which is kind of weird to go along with it in that sense of it. But like I said, overall decent match. Probably going to be the seeds of the Hype Bros breaking up, and maybe Zack Ryder turns heel or something. Like, oh, they could try turning Mojo as well to go along with it. After the match, New Day comes out. They start cutting a promo on the Usos. They say they want another tag team title shot. They're kind of owed one because of the fact that, you know, The Usos just left during the last match and everything to go along with it. The Usos accept the challenge, but they start this back and forth, almost like rap battle thing. And beforehand, you have like Big E who's mimicking the Booker T promo from way back when he accidentally said that word on the air, which was also kind of a tease from the Ball family segment with Miz TV from the night before, because apparently like the youngest son said that particular word over the air twice over the microphone and everything to go along with it. So yeah, they mimic it and have a little bit of fun where Big E's like, we're coming for you, and then you just see Xavier Woods go like, Usos, don't even think about it. It's like he just looks at Big E, he's like, don't even think about it. So they mimic that old promo from way back when. Good stuff there from the Usos and the New Day. And yeah, there's going to be a tag title match for Battleground, and you have I believe a rap battle next week to go along with it. So we'll see where everything goes here. So up next, you had Fashion Vice. So it's as you know, it's not Fashion Files anymore, it's Fashion Vice. So it's basically an 80s theme, and they're sitting there interrogating wanting to interrogate the Ascension for what they had done and like why they like trashed their office and everything go along with it. You have Tyler Breeze and Fandango talking there initially. It's like, we should do good cop, bad cop. And Fandango goes in there and tries to bribe him with like Eddie money tickets, like 2 tickets to Paradise and everything to go along with it. But Tyler Breeze comes in and he basically is like initially he's like laying down the water guns, trying to be all intimidating and everything in that sense. And then he brings out like a cheese and wine thing to go along with it. Yeah, I like the little touches that they put in there of the Ascensions. Like you had, I think Victor, who was gonna initially take the tickets and say something, but then Victor, then Connor. Yeah, Connor. It's like, no, we only listen to like thrasher metal or something like in that sense. And then as all this is going on, like I said, you had Tyler Breeze, like both of them played good cop, and I like how they make a notion to it. When they were talking, it's like, I can break them. We can break them. It's like, I think we both played the good cop. No, we're great cops. Great stuff. Very good segment. You have and then you hear, but before the segment ends, they had, you heard a thrashing, and someone had trashed their office again. So it's obviously not the Ascension. Who's it gonna be type moment, and I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one, because a lot of people are saying that it could be American Alpha, though I don't. It's just hard to say who they're gonna have it be, because like it would probably make more sense that American Alpha hadn't been on if American Alpha wasn't on TV last week, if they had kept them off until everything. But I don't know on that one. I thought the segment was good. It ended with the Ascension kind of, they were picking at the cheeses, and then the little cheese plate that they had there, and then both of them grabbed the Eddie money tickets, and basically they go to end of segment there. I thought this was good comedy, good stuff. Just good stuff. Like I said, with the New Day, they seem to be rejuvenated on Smackdown, where like on Monday Night Raw they were getting a little bit stagnant. Their shtick wasn't old yet, but they were getting a little bit stagnant. It seems like over on Smackdown they're having more fun with it, and it's a lot, and you could definitely tell, and it's good stuff that they're coming up with. And same with this Fashion Vice thing and Fashion Files as well. It's good stuff that they're coming up with for these guys, and it's rather enjoyable. So up next was Lana versus Naomi. This match was very short. We'll just leave it at that one. Lana attacks Naomi before the match, before the bell rings. The ref checks on Naomi, and she says, yeah, we're good to go. She gets hit with what you would perceive to be Lana's finisher, but Naomi kicks out and then immediately wins afterwards to a kick to the head and then a split-legged moonsault to go along with it. So it was what it was, and I kind of like what they did there. You definitely could tell there was a bit more. Even though it was really short, like the crowd was kind of digging it with what they did, even though the actual thing itself was rather short. Up next, you had a Becky Lynch interview backstage, basically talking about, it's like, oh, he's like, this is a fair opportunity now, everything to go along with it, in that sense of everything. Really good promo from Becky Lynch. She's really good at the promo side of everything. And, yeah, like, this was just it just felt really impassioned. It felt genuine and everything to go along with it. She was saying, it's like, I'm just gonna go out there and show that you can walk your own path and still succeed type thing. It's not like, oh, this is the pathway to success, you must walk it type people to go along with it. So, really good promo. I rather enjoyed it and everything in that sense. They do cut to the ring, and you have Aiden English in the ring, and he starts singing. He starts singing one of his songs, everything to go along with everything in that sense. It's like, okay, is Aiden English going to get a match? No. He gets interrupted by Randy Orton, and they cut to commercial break as Randy Orton comes out. When they come back from commercial break, they just have Randy Orton sitting there in the chair, basically doing the whole hold up the show, you know, give me what I want or the show doesn't continue. They also show the fact that Aiden English was going to leave and he gets RKO'd. So it's gonna be one of those ones. So what basically what Randy Orton wanted, he's cutting a very impassionate promo again. Like, the promo work that he's doing now is a lot better. It seems like he's digging this storyline that he's in with Jinder Mahal at this time, and everything in that sense. And he says, like, he disrespected my family, everything in that sense. I want a WWE title shot. And basically, before Shane comes out, he even says, it's like, if I don't get this, I'm just gonna basically beat down Jinder Mahal everywhere. At the airports, backstage, parking lots, just wait till next week. And when Shane McMahon comes out, he's like, yeah, okay, if you go ahead and fire me or anything like that, says, I will buy tickets and keep coming until I can still and just get to Jinder Mahal in that sense of everything. And I like even the aspect that Shane McMahon even talks about the fact that they had a match way back when. Like, he had, and even says, like, you've used these tactics in the past, but he had never seen that look in his eye. And it's like, yeah, you'll get your one more match with him, but Jinder Mahal makes the stipulation. So Jinder Mahal comes out, cuts a promo, and he even adds the added touch in there of Great Khali and everything in that sense. He even calls him like his hero, everything to go along with it. And he gets a decent pop from the crowd too, from that side of it. And he makes the match a Punjabi prison match, which we've only seen 2 of those. And in all fairness, they weren't that good back then, but we're gonna get it one more time here. And the first one was with Big Show and The Undertaker. And the reason why it was Big Show and The Undertaker is I think it was supposed to be Great Khali and The Undertaker, because they were working that program back then. But Khali had gotten injured, or there was like some kind of illness that went through an overseas tour right before the pay-per-view. And a bunch of guys had to be taken off that particular pay-per-view, and Khali was one of them. And then the second one was with Batista and Great Khali at that time, which that match was what it was. So we'll see how this one plays off. But like I said, you could definitely tell there's a fire behind Randy Orton. He really wants to help get this guy over. He really wants to help get Mahal over, and it's coming off pretty good. I've been liking Jinder Mahal stuff. He plays it off as like he's just and he's not playing the whole aspect of I'm the foreign guy, so boo me. He's playing it off as like, you boo me, and it just angers him. It just angers him, and you can tell there's the angst and everything in Jinder Mahal for everything in that bit. And I thought it came off rather well. So after this, you had an AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, and Kevin Owens segment backstage where like AJ Styles like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what this open challenge is for Kevin Owens. And of course Kevin Owens comes in and it's like, even though he made it pretty clear last week that it was supposed to be for hometown people, he comes in there and reiterates it again. Which Brian's like, that's fine, everything in that sense, that's cool, but we do need something for Battleground. So next week, with it being the 4th of July, we're going to make an Independence Day Battle Royal. So he makes a Battle Royal for #1 contendership. And I like how AJ's just like, it's like, am I invited to this? Yeah, you're invited. And it comes off a little bit differently each and every time. And I like how like Owens is like, wait a minute, what's going... He's doing that, wait a minute, what's going on thing around him at all times. Like, oh god, here we go again. Again type moments. Decent segment there. Rather short segment, but decent enough. Also, right before Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin, you had Maria and Mike Kanellis. So, or Michael Bennett for people who watched them in ROH and in Impact Wrestling to go along with it. So Maria's starting to cut the promo, like talking about 7 years ago and everything in that sense where she left the company, and they get interrupted by Sami Zayn's music. And the great thing about this is like, you just have Maria is like, what's this? What's going on? As they both like split, go to side, as Sami Zayn just does his normal entrance, does the let's go, and then looks behind him. It's like, what? Oh, crap, I'm sorry, like my music hit, I'm supposed to have a match, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm so sorry. So it seems like they are gonna have something with Maria, or something with Mike and Sami Zayn coming up here very soon with on the go on that side of it. So it seems like Sami Zayn is gonna be Mike Kanellis' first program in some way. Now, his match with Sami Zayn's match with Baron Corbin was a pretty good match. And guess what they're not doing right now? Like, their whole trope had always been for the longest time that the Money in the Bank winner, it didn't matter if they won or lost. It kind of does matter if they win or lose, to go along with it. And it was definitely right for Baron Corbin to win this match, which I thought the match was pretty good to go along with it. But like for the longest time, way back when, it's like you always saw the Money in the Bank winner just lose and lose and lose and lose, and they always went with this mindset that they have the Money in the Bank. It doesn't matter if they win or lose; they can become champion anytime they want, and then we can make them big or something in that sense. Now, how about we try, putting them over? And I guess that's what they're going to try with Baron Corbin. There was a quick Shinsuke Nakamura interview afterwards as Shinsuke was watching this to go along with it. So it seems like, which he was talking about Baron Corbin as well. So it seems like you're going to have Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura probably for Battleground or something in that sense. So that might be interesting to see where they go along with it. But otherwise, decent match from them. And it looks like Corbin is going to be going with Nakamura, and you have Sami Zayn working with Maria and Mike Kanellis to go along with it. So we'll see how everything plays off there. So this leads into the main event of the night, which was Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Tamina, and Natalya in the now second Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And they put on a good ladder match. They put on a good ladder match with maybe the exception of the ending to the first one. But they went out there and they told it differently, and they did different spots inside of this match where they had done certain matches, or they had done certain spots in the other matches in the other match, and they didn't necessarily just redo them. They came up with a few different spots. They had like even a spot later in the match where Carmella looked like she was about to win, and all four women get into the ring. They pick up a side of the ladder and just move it across the ring, leaving just like she can't pick up the briefcase, but she's also stuck on the ladder at that point in time to go along with it. So some good spots in there. Some pretty devastating looking ones too. They came up with some pretty good ones in there. You had even a spot where like Charlotte had to run up a ladder to climb the ladder to be able to get to Natalya to stop her from gaining the briefcase. You had Becky Lynch as two of them were holding up a ladder, did the run up the ladder spot that way as well. And they did some pretty good stuff in this match, and I thought it came off rather good. I like the ending of it. This time I actually do like the ending of it, because they went with that heat, like continue building that heat moment on Carmella, that somehow Ellsworth finds his way back in the arena. They don't explain that, obviously, because he just shows up for the match, so they don't explain the fact that he gets back in. And they make it seem like he's gonna do the exact same thing again. They tease that he's gonna do it again, like the crowd's getting like super like into it in the terms of like booing them and everything in that sense. Becky Lynch comes over, kicks Carmella, and she just sits there. It's like she's got Ellsworth stuck on the actual ladder, so she teases tilting it over like the one way where you just fall to his back, and then she sits there and just teases pushing over the ladder until she eventually does, and he ends up pulling off the spot where he lands on the top rope, basically crotching himself to go along with it. So they tease it to where at that point it's like, oh, Becky Lynch is going to end out winning, where Carmella comes back in, has a chair, hits her in the knee, which gets her off, and then drills her in the back with it and climbs the ladder and picks up the victory. Good. They didn't take it away from Carmella. They gave it back to her, but they actually had her climb the ladder and grab it and everything to go along with it. So I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a really good match. Honestly, I thought the first one was a really good match as well, with just the exception of the ending. But if that was the game plan, was to get like massive heat on Carmella, well done WWE on that one. And then they give it to Carmella in the end, anyways. Because honestly, if they didn't give it to Carmella again, that would have built 2 weeks of heat for her, and then it kind of just takes it all away all at once without it meaning anything. So it was good that Carmella gets it in the end. So overall, this is a good show. I just look at it, it's like, this is actually a really good show. I like the stuff with the New Day and the Usos. I wish more of the match with the Hype Bros and the Usos would have happened on the actual show, and not most of it during the commercial break. But the stuff with Carmella at the beginning was really good. The build up to that Money in the Bank ladder match was good as well. The stuff with Orton, Shane, and Jinder Mahal was really well done too. I thought it came off as a really good show this week. I did enjoy SmackDown this week. It came off really good. So with that being said, everyone, that is another episode of you for GodSaw's Turnbuckle. I hope you guys enjoyed everything, and have a great rest of your day.